So on Sunday we have nothing, and on Monday we have nothing special except for those who trade bonds. So monitor the Italian 10-year bond auction.
Hey, sorry, Eusebio, this thing is sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't, but it's gone back to my time frame.
Ah.
And come over here. Okay, and go to the calendar. Now I was wondering why it wasn't going back to last week and it was coming up with this week. Okay, so still hasn't changed what you said, Eusebio.
Okay, so for Sunday, indeed, nothing special. On Monday, we have, let's see, so monitor the Italian 10-year bond auction. Then we will have the US dollar Chicago PMI, major and a bit bullish. It's a bank holiday in Japan, so expect nothing special on the ASEAN session. Then we have to monitor the Chinese manufacturing PMI and non-manufacturing PMI, and both neutral as usual.
Okay. Okay, scrolling down. And Bruce, just do your homework as though you don't have to catch up, just do the homework. That's fine. And send it in. So just do it as you want, when you want, and flick it through. Thanks.
On Tuesday, so we have several countries on holidays, so Germany, New Zealand, Japan again, so it will be a quiet day, it is the New Year Eve, but we will still have an important news release, which is the US dollar CB consumer confidence, major higher time frames, and a bit bullish.
Okay, and
on Wednesday it's easy. There is nothing. Expect to monitor the Chinese cash-in manufacturing PMI and neutral as usual. It may have an impact on the following day.
Okay.
On Thursday and Friday will be still small days, so personally I will not trade. And so let's see if we have something special. No, I see nothing on Thursday.
Okay.
And on Friday, Friday we have the pound nationwide HPI, which is the housing price index, month over month. So major, a bit bearish. I will monitor the German preliminary CPI month over month. CPI is the consumer price index, and so bullish. Then we have the Euro M3 money supply year over year, major higher time frame, a bit bullish. But generally there is almost never big surprises with the M3 money supply. It's very rare. We have the pound construction PMI major and a bit bullish. I will monitor the ISM manufacturing PMI for the US dollar and a bit bullish. Then we have monitor the natural gas storage, the crude oil inventories for those of you who trade these two commodities. And then we have Wilkins and Brainard speaking. So for Wilkins, due to participate in a panel discussion, so we can forget that. We have Brainard speaking also, participate in a panel discussion titled Women in Central Bank. I really wonder why we have these discussions. It's not the gender of the person who is important, but the competence of the person who is important. So really I don't understand. Then I will monitor the FOMC meeting minutes. So
I've still got Kaplan.
Yeah. Oh, let's check panel discussion. Let's forget.
Sorry. Okay.
We can forget. But we have the FOMC meeting minutes. So I will monitor that. Normally there will be no surprise at all, and it is at the end of the day, the end of the week. So, but just monitor. So, and That's it.
Okay, cool. Let me save this. That was that drive that was giving me issues. No! Sorry, I woke up this morning to find my drive I'd put to sleep had stuff missing in it. Where do I want to put it? Let's try under here. And it's a very slow drive. Oh. Try it again. Oh, don't do that.
The disk is full.
No, it's not. It's telling lies. Save as. Let's dump it somewhere. Excuse me. Browse. Desktop will do. Okay, that's done. And I'll bring it back. Okay, so the whole idea of going through this is that if you've got, if you're trading any time frame that's H4 and above, and there's an H4 marked on here, then be careful. Get out of your trade 1 hour, 1/2 hour before the close and before the news event comes out, and don't place any orders 1 hour prior to it. Same goes for smaller time frames if there's a major next to the item. This is modified though. If you have a major item or an H4 item on the euro, the US dollar or the yen, these are the three majors. Any news coming out on those can affect any pair combination. So if you're trading the Aussie Kiwi and there's something coming up on the euro, then follow those guides. If you if there's news coming up on something smaller, like for instance a Swiss or a Kiwi or an Aussie, then you don't need to be quite so rigid if you're not trading either of those, one of those pairs. And the pound kind of sits in the middle. At the moment, it can impact all pairs or no pairs, depending on what the news is and how people sort of see it. So at the moment, just treat news coming out on the pound pair as if it was coming up on the euro, unless you've got a really good reason not to. For standard and SAM people that have got more units open when they're coming into the news item, you don't have to actually close out completely of the trade. Just take some profit so that your position is actually protected. The reason that we warn you about these is to protect your account, not the profits, but the account itself. If you don't have an account, then you can't trade. So that's what we're on about. Hey, Ingrid, and thank you. Ingrid says, Happy New Year to everybody. Compliments of the seasons. Okay, and what else? Okay, the top 10 pairs are these ones, and I'll quickly show you how I calculate these, because I also want to check to make sure that they haven't changed since yesterday. So we're picking these ones as the top 10. And there's only 9 of them at the moment. The range has kind of opened up a bit, or not. Actually, there seem to be more that are larger today than there were last week. But as you can see, the ranges are still pretty small compared to what they got up to in the middle of the year and compared to what they were like a year or two ago. These are very tight ranges, so quite difficult to trade. And the way that I get these items going is I come over here to MATF, and the reason I'm showing you this is because if we suddenly disappear, then you are left on your own, and this is how you carry on with your business yourself. So we do a sort. We grab MATF's Forex volatility. Hey, Mark, and it's there. I'll put it in again without the URL on the front. Okay, so you can copy it down easily if you're watching this by video. And we use a 4-week period and just do a search. It's quite quick really to do this, which is now. And it's sorted the pairs over a 4-week average volatility, and then I simply come down here and I copy them all down to the US yen, because all the rest of these are just kind of junk pairs that we don't use, and I copy them across, copy this, paste them across into a sheet like this, and I delete all this, the funny pairs like the Kiwi, Turkish lira, and the Swiss Mexican and stuff like that, if it appears here. So I'm just left with our regular 28 major pairs. And then over here on this sheet, I've copied that. This is the same list here. And across the top here, I put in Excel, in case somebody doesn't know this, I go to data page and I put a filter over the top. And what that does, it lets me sort the columns. So I can then go and sort this, say by pips, largest to smallest. And the pound Kiwi is at the top there. And if I sort it by dollars, largest to smallest Kiwi dollar is still at the top. And that's all we're doing. And then we pick the ones that are kind of moving the most. So it used to be that we'd pick things above $750, but a couple of them drop off, and they've got the euro in there, which is less volatile than the pound, so we're including the euro at the moment. And the pound Kiwi came in at. So what I wanted to check with this list is if today's numbers were still correct. So if you can do the same thing over here on the page, do a sort, and the pound Kiwi comes in at 1293, and over here it says it's 1293. So they haven't changed, Eusebio. Okay. Euro Aussie 603. Where's the Euro Aussie 603? Yep. So still the same. If anybody's got any questions on that, I did go through it really quickly, but just let me know and I can go do it a bit more detail. But it's pretty simple to pull them out. And okay, so
can you stay just a moment on that screen, Chris? Because I would like to explain something. Sometimes it is often asked. Why do we sort these numbers by the average daily dollar range instead of pips? Because what matters at the end of the day is the amount of money we make, not the amount of pip we make. And if you take, for example, a pair like the pound Swiss, you can see that the average daily range in pips is 125 pips. It is less than the third pair, the pound yen, which is 139 pips, but the pound Swiss makes more money than the pound yen, and almost the same amount of money than the pound Kiwi for less pips. So the pips is never what matter, but it's really the money we are making which is important. This is why we sort this spreadsheet with the dollar range instead of the pips range.
Okay, cheers. And okay, so what I've done is I've pulled the 9 pairs from the top, put them back over here so that Eusebio can match up the 9 that we've got with the news so that we get a best pairs rating for each day. And I'll just spread this out so we've got a bit more room to see things. There we go. Okay, so Sunday there's nothing, and on Monday we have the US dollar.
The US dollar, okay.
And that's it.
So we will have the pound US dollar for the first pair. Then we can take the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Cool.
And then we will take the pound Swiss.
Okay. And because the day's normal trading day ends at 5 p.m. US time, we look for anything that kicks in close to or after it, and there's nothing on the Monday, so we don't include these. These are only monitors, they're not majors, so there's nothing left over from Monday. And on Tuesday up to the 5 p.m. point, it's all holidays essentially, but we've got a major coming up on the US dollar again. So
right, so we will have the same choice as on Monday.
Okay. Wednesday is a holiday, so nothing there. Thursday we've got nothing listed.
Nothing listed, so we can choose the pound Kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay.
Then the pound Swiss. Then the pound yen.
Okay. And so that was Thursday. So anything left over from Thursday, there's nothing left over from Thursday. And on Friday we have the pound.
The pound, yes.
We've got the euro.
The euro.
And
yes.
That's it.
But the euro is the entry money supply, so not very often surprising, so I will not consider it as an important news for the moment. And so we will have to consider, we can take exactly the same choice as Thursday.
Okay. Okay. So this just gives you an idea on what pairs to, rather than jumping around 9 pairs all the time, you can settle down to, say, 3 pairs to monitor, maybe a 4th if you're finding things aren't moving that much. And if nothing is working well here or they're really spiky because of the pound and Brexit still, you've still got these 3 pairs that you can monitor down the bottom based on the euro. And they seem to be, they don't move as much, but they move a bit more carefully, and it's possible to make money out of those ones. Not as much, but it's easier perhaps. Okay, and what else do we have? I think that's it. Is that it, Eusebio?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, feels funny. But okay, so while Eusebio's giving his presentation, I'll update the NewsWatch page. Does anybody have any questions about that, though? Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Long-term bias, Eusebio.
Yes.
Back up again. So there was only a couple of days that you actually used the bias last week.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I can't bring up the calendar because Windows 10. So we've got the bias situations. Okay, these are the long-term ones. There's the short-term bias. Make it a bit smaller. Sorry, it's going to be tiny, but just to bring it up here. So no trading for, you'll be perhaps doing a bias on Monday, maybe Tuesday, nothing for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is that correct?
So certainly for Monday, perhaps partially Tuesday, but I'm not sure yet. Nothing Wednesday, probably nothing Thursday, and probably partially Friday. Yeah.
Okay. And does that apply to the, you're talking about short and long-term biases?
I will update also the long-term bias, yes.
In a similar fashion, though?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So I'll put a note in Slack so that everybody knows about that.
Yeah.
So
but expect, again, a very small week. This doesn't mean we can't see ample movement. We have seen, for example, Friday, nice movements, or what seems to be nice movement in some pairs, but with low volumes activity, so they are weak movement. And so I don't like to trade movement with no liquidity at all, because they can reverse very, very quickly. And if you have some volumes for your trade side, you may have some difficulties to have your orders executed. So this is why it's better to not trade. You can observe the market, but not trade at all.
Okay, and just to let you know, we're coming up to the 3rd month of the beta trial, so there's still 1 more month left on the beta, and the beta pricing is $29 for this bias setup. So if you want to try it out, see if it suits you, most welcome. And yeah, send us an email. What happens is Eusebio updates this through the day as he's working, and when he makes an update, then a chat room or a communications panel will set up an alert either on your PC and or on your smartphone. So reasonably simple to set up. Yeah, that's it. You just let me know and I'll add you to the lists, and away you go. The alert is there to let you know to come and have a look at the spreadsheet to see what direction and the strength of the movement for a particular pair has been. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, let's move on out of here.